Okay, we're live. Says we've been live for a whole minute. I don't know why that probably shouldn't be. Ah, I just clicked it a second ago. It says I've been live for a minute. That seemed weird. Oh well. How's everybody's holiday going so far? Hope we're all doing good. I always get that like come down right after Christmas. At least I do. Yeah, kind of. Oh, and it's done. You get that downer from the holiday. I know some people are like, "Oh, Christmas is." What is it? The Orthodox say it's going into January or something. I don't know, man. December 31st, it's over. It's done. We're done with it. Now, granted, I start November 1st, so we've been doing it for a while at that point. But it's like we're done. It's over. It all goes back into the closet. It's done. Then you just left with nothing but January. Nothing but the cold, harsh, unforgiving winter. No Christmas lights, no joy, nothing. There's the harsh fucking winter. I shared in case anyone wants to call in, but fuck, I guess I should share the actual stream address on Discord too. I guess I should. Let's see. I really wish I could figure out how to do intro music on this, but I am retarded. It's probably not going to happen. Let's see. So the new season of Stranger Things. Well, I mean, part one of it dropped back in November, and now the second chunk of it dropped on Christmas Day, and then the last episode is supposed to drop this coming Wednesday, the 31st. It's not good. It's not awful. It's not even bad. In fact, most of it is even pretty good. But oh man. So there's a few things I could pick apart if I wanted to get into the lore. And I don't mean to do this in some like I'm super smart and you know, I'm going to crunch the numbers on how this is wrong kind of shit, but like just how it contradicts stuff from previous seasons, like really contradicts it. Like all of a sudden they're saying the upside down is just Hawkins. It's just a mirror of Hawkins because it's actually a little bridge between two real dimensions. But there were upside down portals in Russia. It was basically stated that the upside down was a mirror of the whole world before this. And then there's the speech. Oh God, it's so bad. It really is so bad. So Will's gay. And we've known this for like this has been strongly, not overtly said, I don't think, but strongly hinted at for all but said for like since season 2, something like that, season 3. So yeah, Will's queer. Okay, cool, fine, whatever. I'm not even bothered by that. I'm honestly not. But he does this fucking spiel. So the bad guy shows him this vision of everyone finds out he's gay and they hate him, right? So he's going to prove that vision wrong and he's going to tell everyone he's gay. And at first he's just going to tell his mom and maybe like his one friend, the main guy, the main kid, the one that's Eleven's boyfriend. I'm so bad with names. I don't even remember the names. I love the show, legitimately do. Half the characters don't fucking remember their names. So he calls everybody, and we've got a fucking ensemble cast of like 15 motherfucking people right now, because we're right towards the end where we're gonna make the grand fucking launch to defeat the bad guy. And he goes through this awkward 5-minute spiel about how he loves cock to all these fucking 15 people. And like some of these people he doesn't, as far as I know, he hasn't met, he hasn't spoken a word to. And he's just like, by the way, I love cock. And they're sitting there like, the world's gonna end. Are we gonna like are we gonna wrap this up? Hey Dan, what's up? Oh, his mic's muted. He's busy telling 15 people that he's never met how much he loves them.
Yep. Can you hear me?
Yep.
So are you telling me that an entire the end of a season is dedicated to telling people?
No, that's not. That's it. Not it. It's not the whole season. It's literally just one scene at the end. So
why?
It doesn't make any sense. It would have made sense if he'd have like told his mom and maybe like his best friend or something. But no, he gathers everybody, and like some of these people, like I don't even know you, kid. You know, and we got a lot of work to do to try and stop the apocalypse. Can we talk about you loving dick some other time?
Did the writers leave the room and then like an intern come in or something and write it in?
It's so bad. It's so awkward. Nope. And again, like I think I would have respected to see more if like even just one character, like Hopper, would have not even been overtly hostile to it, but just been like, kid, the world's about to end. We don't have time for you for this, okay? Like you could suck dick later. Oh, let's hope there's a world later for you to suck.
Priorities.
Dick, okay? Like, here's the other thing that kind of bothers me a little bit. So I'm gonna spill out the lore for a second to explain why I have a problem. So we discover that the Upside Down is like a bridge between the evil dimension and Earth. And the bad guy Vecna is going to kill these 12 kids he's kidnapped to perform a ritual that will merge the two dimensions, right?
Okay.
We also discovered there is a relatively easy way to utterly destroy the Upside Down. Like literally we can bring some bombs into the center of it and we could blow up this whole bridge between dimensions.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone is so hyper focused on saving these 12 kids. And some of them have very close bonds, like sister or whatever, to these kids, that it's like an afterthought that after they lay out the plan of saving these kids, the one guy goes, oh yeah, and I guess we should blow up the Upside Down too.
Question, does the government know how to destroy the Upside Down?
I don't believe so. Plus the government thinks we're going to use it against the Russians and shit. The government is
okay. Because if the government knew and it was a threat, they would have just sent a nuke in and closed the door and be done with it.
Or they would. Well, again, I think they're just so busy trying to be like, we could use it against the Russians, which I like. I like the idea that the government is just evil, shitty, corrupt military-industrial complex.
I could buy that. It's just like how I can buy in the Marvel universe, the government thinks building giant robots to terrorize civilians is a smart idea.
Yeah, why wouldn't they? Trust me, figuring out how to do it is the only thing stopping them from doing it right now.
Well, they're getting there.
But anyways, so nobody in this group says, look, it's great if we can save these kids. Like, if we can, let's do that. But not one asshole in the group, and there's a couple of assholes who should have said this, blurted out, hey, priority one should be blowing up the bridge, blowing up the Upside Down. That's priority one. Like, save the kids if we can. Because I'm sorry. I know I don't like kids, but I think most people would agree. If there's 12 kids whose lives are on the line, but also the whole world, making sure the whole world is safe is kind of, what's the point of saving these kids if you bring them into the fucking hell dimension with everybody else? Like, what good we do that?
I'm confused here, though. How does this relate to sucking cock?
Okay, so we'll just decide it before we get to the important facts of 12 children on the line plus the whole world. First, let me tell everybody, some of you I don't really even seem to know at all. Let me tell you about how I like cock. And I'm going to make sure I spend like 5 minutes just rambling on about nonsense before I even get to the point that I like cock.
Okay. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
It is so awkward. It's so terrible. It's not even terrible because I'm anti-gay. It is the 80s, so at least one of the people in there should be like, fag.
Yeah,
But
it's the 80s, even into the 90s, people bullied him. But this is like,
Hopper should have been like, yeah, whatever. Like the only reason I'm not
I'll
calling you
worry
fag is
about
because I want
calling
to
you a
fuck your
fag
mom.
later. Pressing
Yeah.
issues.
Hopper should be very clearly like, I want to fuck your mom, and that's why I'm not calling you out on being a fag. Like, but not okay, fine. But it's just like literally nobody has fucking time for this right now. Okay, we are trying to like save children from a demon man with mind bullets and blow up his dimensional bridge. Okay,
And thinking about sucking cock.
there'll be plenty. And also, this isn't overtly said, but it's pretty obvious. The way that Vecna like mind melds with these kids is very anime tentacly. Big old fucking phallic tentacle right in the mouth, just pumping you full of fluid.
Mhm.
And I get the impression that maybe some of Will's proclivities have to do with a certain amount of trauma he he underwent at a pretty young age. I don't know. But there's definitely the subtext of Vecna molested him. Now he's gay. Whether anyone wants to admit that or not, that's there.
I have the feeling that a certain writer that got a hold of this, it's reflecting their worldview that as the world is facing total annihilation, what is most important is talking about sexuality.
Again, if this scene would have been like, I want to, because he had this vision from the bad guy that, like, when they find out who you are, they'll hate you. So if he'd have pulled his best friend and his mom aside and said, "Look, I just want to come clean with you about myself," because and I could understand him doing that. That would have made sense.
Well, that
But
would
to,
have been good writing.
but to draw it out into, hey, like he probably doesn't even know the names of everybody in this room at this point. Like we haven't seen him speak one word to like half of them.
There appears to be somebody waiting.
Yeah, the Grubby's here.
Hey, Grubby.
He's
Hey.
taking some time out of his Kwanzaa celebrations.
Would you like to discuss sucking cock?
Yes.
Uh,
God damn, dude.
It's the most pressing issue in our time.
yeah, apparently.
Yeah, the world's ending. But first, let me tell you all about my sexual proclivities, especially to people I've barely met.
Especially people you barely met.
I mean, the world's ending, so might as well.
Damn. And it's funny because it's only like one scene in all these episodes, and it's not, but it's so bad it becomes the one scene everyone's talking about. And I mean,
So
I'm guilty of it too because I'm sitting here shitting on it. But it's so bad you have to say something about it.
It's a speed bump in the show, you say.
And again, there's all sorts of like little lore issues where it's like this is contradicting things we've established. I'm not trying to be like I'm smarter than this, like Neil deGrasse Tyson. How could Santa Claus do that? I'm just saying, like, suspension of disbelief is something where I will meet you halfway on it. That's always been the case with me with fiction. And when you start contradicting your own rules, I'm like, well, if you don't care, why should I?
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I'm not going to sit here and try and do calculations about how they're wrong about dimensional rifts or something. I'm just going to be like, okay, those are the rules you gave me, but those rules contradict the rules you said last season.
Yeah, you're right. There was a Russian side to the Upside Down. No.
Yeah, the Upside Down was the whole world before this, and now it's just Hawkins.
I think it's like they're kind of cheating. Like it just makes an image of where you enter and of the state it's in or something. Because
I could even buy like because he's close to like, or maybe the Upside Down has been shrinking, and that's why Vecna has to act now. Kind of thing. I could even buy that, but like. Oh, it's just Hawkins. It was Russia, like
there was a Russian
seasons
half.
ago.
That's why the Russians were
world.
fucking around.
It was the whole world until just now, and now it's just Hawkins. I could even buy that, like after his big move at the end of season 4, when he tried already to merge the worlds, that maybe that caused it to shrink, and that's why. Like again, just tell me it shrunk, and I would have been like, fine. Like. I'm not going to question it beyond that. I'm just going to be like, stop contradicting your own shit.
Man, I must be lost because I haven't watched since season 3.
Yeah, I got to catch up too. No, I kind of like the idea of it being the whole world because I think that makes it more unsettling that there's just a mirror world that's totally empty of human life.
Well, last season they seemed to indicate that like it was a different dimension, and when this Henry guy entered it, his mental powers made it a mirror of the world in that moment he entered it. That's why it was sort of like stuck in time. Like nothing in the Upside Down changed from the moment it formed. Like it didn't update itself to be like in line. You know, if we build a new building here, it's not in the Upside Down kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Well, I would even accept that, like, when you go to an area, it just reflects whatever whoever first goes there remembers, and that's what it becomes forever. I would accept that, but hey, I don't try to think about it too much because then the show just breaks down anyway.
Yeah, again, I'm not trying to pick it apart a lot. I'm not trying to be one of those guys, but it's just, you know, when you're like, this is how this works. And then 5 minutes later, you've clearly forgotten that. I'm like, come on, man. Like, I want to meet you halfway, but you got to meet me halfway. All right.
But I still don't know how this reflects to the most important issue, which is sucking cock and telling strangers about it.
Yeah, we have to save the world so Will could go suck some cock.
Of course.
He's just dying to suck some dick. He's got to have it. Ever since Vecna put that tentacle in his mouth,
it awakened something in him.
Clearly, it did.
Like the first time you watch hentai.
Chat says everyone's too busy playing with their Santa toys to listen to Bulbasaur. I figured I wouldn't get a ton of people right now, but like, my God, man, that one scene alone is enough for him. Like, no, come on, man.
It's gonna be what people talk about for like a year.
I mean, you got me out of my patriotic Kwanzaa celebrations.
I don't know.
With all of the queens.
Yep.
Grubby
of Hyperborea.
Speaking of racial politics, did you see the Indian dude from the Eternals that no one likes? He did a stand-up comedy bit where he just literally is seething about how white people are prettier.
I did not.
So he's literally going on. He's like, white people have all the different hair and eye colors that are possible for humans, and Indians just have black hair and black eyes. It's not fair.
Black eyes?
Like a doll's eyes.
I was going to say, I don't think I've ever seen an Indian with black eyes. But,
well, maybe he should stop being punched.
Maybe he should stop getting beat up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe he should stop being in shitty movies. Or sometimes being the shittiest part of a decent movie.
I don't know. The only thing about that was that I remember is when Vivek was complaining that people were calling him Jeets at that Turning Point thing.
Sir, you watched the Saved by the Bell, sir?
Yeah.
It's like, I'm sorry,
he can't
Vivek.
cut his mouth.
You on the birth of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ decided to badmouth Topanga and her rockin' tits, and I'm supposed to ever want to side with you again?
Yeah, and we're Saved by the Bell nationalists over here.
I literally that day I posted a picture of like Topanga and Kelly Kapowski, and I'm like, death to all that badmouth them. He's had a crash out this year too. It was like
yes, he
Christmas.
Can't shut his fucking mouth. He can't learn.
I guess when you worship a monkey demon, the birth of Jesus Christ just upsets you. When your God is something from the upside down, you're just not gonna be happy with Christians celebrating the birth of Jesus.
Oh God!
Mindset of a country that tracks scams as part of their GDP,
and it smells bad.
I mean, that's the first thing you notice.
That's why the upside down part that looks like India is just India. You can't even tell the difference. It smells better.
It was a trend for a while to just like find a random street in India on Google Maps and see if you could find a place without any trash. We figured this out in the Middle Ages. You don't just throw your trash everywhere.
You don't just defecate everywhere either.
Yeah.
But if you don't, the toilet witch will get you.
The toilet witch.
What was that movie? There was like a movie with like a talking baby where it thought the toilet was a monster that was going to eat him.
I don't know. I know that's like a.
I think it was one of the Look Who's Talking movies.
Yeah. There's like an urban legend, like a schoolyard urban legend in Japan about people falling down toilets and disappearing forever, but that's like the squat toilets.
They got those toilets that shoot the water right up your ass. Oh, Chat had it. Look Who's Talking too. And Chat was right on the money there. I had seen that scene in like YouTube Shorts or Facebook Reels recently, and it was like, fuck, I've seen that before. What movie is that? Oh, man. So yeah, Stranger Things 5 is not great. It's not even bad. It's really not. Like, it would be absolutely fine, even good, if you cut that one scene out. But
I wonder how that got passed. Or maybe they're like, we don't have enough DEI points. We have to put this scene in for no reason other than to get them.
I wouldn't think that gay stuff would be so prevalent in the 80s.
It wasn't.
Yeah, I don't think everyone's quite so accepting in the middle of the 80s.
They weren't into the early 90s to mid 90s either.
I mean, like, I don't think anybody there would hate him, but I think some people, at the very least, would have had the attitude like, come on, man, we don't have time to talk about you being a fag.
I don't think beating up the queer would be high on the priority list.
Yeah, I think it would even be like, you're still my friend, even if you're a cocksucker. Like, I think they would have, like, even if they're accepting, it wouldn't have been like the happy progressive language of now.
Well, it probably also depends where you are, because I'm pretty sure California might be a little bit more accepting of that than, Mississippi or something.
Well, it takes place in Indiana in the 80s, so no.
Yeah, so
to be honest, I don't think anybody would be really thrilled with the black kid having the little redhead girl as a girlfriend either.
It would be the 80s.
Way. I don't think the kids would have mind, but I think Hopper would maybe have something to say about it.
The parents definitely would. No, the only way to save the scene would literally just be somebody come in and be like, I get it. You like sucking cock and all that shit, but the world's going to fucking end if we don't do anything. We'll talk about
literally,
it later.
You know what would have saved the scene to me? If just one of them just went, well, at least you're not a nigger fucker like Max. And then the scene's over. Then we're just moving on from there. Like that was nothing. Like that would have saved it. That would have been like, oh my god, this is amazing writing. Especially with as long as they dragged it out, I would have paused it and clapped. I'd be like, yes, that was
show of the year.
Absolute cinema.
Yeah, I want to say it was only a brief moment in the 90s when we were post-racial, so like at least the parents would have a problem with it.
I remember like the first season with that redhead girl. I'm watching it like, man, I feel bad about this, but she can get it. And then I look online and the actress was like 20 at that point. I'm like, I feel a lot less bad now. I was starting to feel like Razor Fist over here.
Well, was she canonically 20?
I don't believe the character was 20, though. The character was a teenager.
Yeah, okay.
But the actress was 20.
Remember when they would have shows and like all the people would be like in their teens, but all the actors playing them would be in their 20s?
Oh, that was like everything back then. I remember the reason like Screech and Saved by the Bell seemed so scrawny and small is because he's the only actor that was playing his age.
Well, I think they still do that now because that show on Netflix based on the Addams Family, they're supposed to be in high school, but the girl playing Wednesday is like 27.
Yeah, I'm sure and plus I think a lot of that's to get around labor laws. Yeah, or if you are doing like a scene where like two teenagers are fucking, you don't have to worry about it technically being illegal for the actresses to get nude or something. You know what I mean? That kind of shit.
Yeah, we can get our debauchery around the law.
Not everybody gets a pass like the cuties directors for some reason.
We can to the letter of the law, but not to the spirit.
Yeah, just the end of that scene. At least you're not a nigger fucker like Max. At least you're not a fucking mud shark like Max over there. Everyone's like, Hopper. He's like, what? Somebody needed to say. You were all thinking it. Then the lefty reporter of all people was like, yeah, I was thinking it. But no, it's such a bad scene. It really does suck the fucking wind out of the whole that. And again, I still contend, like, why is nobody bringing up that priority one is destroying this dimensional bridge, not saving the kids? Like, you save the kids if you can, all right? But, you know, they're all probably going to be gay because they got molested by Vecna, like Will. So,
well, you know, I could see that as being believable because they're not the government. If the government wanted to destroy it, they'd be like, yeah, fuck the kids, and then they just slip a nuke in and be done with it.
I don't feel like the group as a whole would go that way because, again, everyone has connections to these people and all. But, like, I feel like one of the people should have been like, look, elephant in the room. It's great if we could save these kids. I hate to be the bad guy here, but, like, one way or another, we got to destroy the fucking Upside Down. Like that's, I ain't leaving till I do that. All right. Even if I got a kamikaze it. So you save the kids if you can. It's a shame because, again, it's mostly a good season. I hope the ending's at least satisfactory.
With a big gay orgy.
Yeah. It's just Will is left behind with Vecna, just getting tentacle raped. But he's cool with it.
Is somebody spreading the Kwanzaa dreidel or whatever they got?
Nobody does Kwanzaa. I love the Democrats put up a Kwanzaa thing and everyone.
I do Kwanzaa.
Everyone shit talking about. No, you do people that celebrate Kwanzaa.
I have yet. I don't know anybody who celebrates Kwanzaa, and I have yet to meet a black person that even knows what it is.
One time in the 2000s at a mall, I found Kwanzaa wrapping paper, and I did all the Christmas presents in that just as a joke. So that's the closest I ever got.
You know, if they celebrate something this time of year in Africa, you know what holiday it is, right?
Ramadan.
Well, I'm talking about the non-Muslim parts, but yes. It's either Ramadan or Christmas. They don't celebrate it there. Kwanzaa is made up.
Well, Kwanzaa's right after Christmas, so we can still have Kwanzaa. I'll tell you what, if it means we all get the week after Christmas off, I'm all for Kwanzaa being a national holiday.
I do have some black in me. Does that mean I can get extra gifts?
Well, Grubby's got a little of himself in black, so does that count?
He'll have to talk to HR.
Oh my gosh. That scene just goes on too. I wish I could find it on YouTube because it's just he's like about to cry and he's just rambling on about, oh, you're all such my good friends. And it's like, you don't know half these people.
Somebody in chat is asking what Kwanzaa is. So care to explain it?
Oh, it's the best time of the year.
Kwanzaa is a made-up Pan-African holiday.
Because Africa gets along.
Yeah, because Africa is just one thing, don't you know?
It's just a single country. It's not a continent.
And it's just a hodgepodge of old African folk shit. And then they rip off the candle from Hanukkah.
The menorah, yeah.
And then that's it. That's Kwanzaa.
And you jerk off to Nicki Minaj videos.
Yeah, you have to jerk off to black chicks. You have to.
Yes.
You have to jerk. You have to go to Pornhub and search Anna Fox. Mm-hmm. And That's on day one of Kwanzaa. Kwanzaa's like 9 days or something too, I think.
It's 9
It's
days.
7. I looked it up the other day.
So
7.
it's just a week
Yeah.
between Christmas and it's basically just Christmas vacation. But yeah, it's a totally real holiday that dates back to the ancient time of the 1960s when some Black Panther who was stoned came up with it.
Actually, I think the guy who made it was so radical that even the Black Panthers had to tell him to cool it.
Well,
Yeah.
the Black Panthers originally, God, I hate to sound like a libtard here. Black Panthers got a bit of a bad rap. Originally, Black Panthers were basically just, trying to police their own neighborhoods and look out for their own interests. They weren't this fucking evil militant overthrow the government group initially until they got infiltrated by feds.
It's funny how that works. Well, they had a clear line at one point. It's like later on is when things started to get really wild, like you said. And it's really weird that when the government gets involved, things get worse.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's very strange.
When the government sees that a bunch of communities are trying to build themselves up and police themselves and establish themselves, and the government just doesn't like that at all. They don't care for that one bit.
Chad is debating orange soda or purple drink.
I think it would be purple drink.
Well, as the official black person of this panel, I will say that it is purple drink. That is the official drink of the black community.
Their Santa necklaces, bad children. Oh man. I always wish people happy Kwanzaa because it's funny because nobody I'll like. There's been years where I've been like, I can't believe boss is making us work on Kwanzaa. It's fucking racist. I want Kwanzaa off from now on just because I want the week between Christmas and New Year's. All non-essential services are shut down for Kwanzaa. So everybody have a good Christmas?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a headset and a $25 Taco Bell gift card.
Oh, nice.
I got a air fryer and a new trackball mouse.
I got a couple of omnibuses of old comic stories. And that was about it for me. Oh, and I got the illustrator actually got me the Marvel vs. Capcom collection on the Switch. That was nice.
Oh, yeah, the Proud Family episode about Kwanzaa, where the Proud Family has no fucking clue what Kwanzaa is.
I'd never gotten through a whole episode of the Proud Family. I remember it being on just because I actually used to watch Kim Possible around that time, so I remember seeing ads for it.
Yeah, I waited for it. It was okay sometimes, but it wasn't really that great of a show.
Yeah, I think I watched
the ad was funny. That was about it.
Yeah, I think I watched a couple episodes, but I mostly watched like Ed, Edd n Eddy back then.
Well, I mean, I was in my 20s at this point, I think. So I think the only thing on the Disney Channel I kind of liked was Kim Possible.
He was watching for Jailbait.
Yeah, I was busy beating off the Kim Possible, gooning, edging. We called it edging back then.
That's a crime in Texas.
Well, so is criticizing Israel, and I was doing that too. So
Is
sometimes at the same time.
Isn't the Bible technically banned now under one of the laws the feds passed?
I'm sure it is. Fucking.
I think it is technically. It's just not being enforced yet.
The funny thing is that the pro-Israel people are even losing the fucking evangelicals at this point.
I'm getting the targeted ads now.
Mega
Where they
church
hunt me
leaders,
down.
Even like just younger evangelicals are like, I don't care, man. Our country's falling apart. We don't have time for
Yeah, and low priority. But like, I'm starting to get the ads now. So it used to be if I watched like a religious philosophy video or like a deep dive on Christian history, I would get nothing but like porn and drug addiction ads. But now I get things like, hey, did you know that Israel is really historic? Hey, what would you say if like a Jewish boy got kicked on the subway?
You know, this is why they should come to
I'm
me for
probably the
their
one kicking him,
propaganda.
so I'd be like, get out of my way.
I mean, like, well, the answer to the question is I'd probably say don't kick that kid because it's a kid. But, like, go ahead and kick his parents, I guess. Fuck them. Just don't kick the kid.
I don't care about kids. See, I'm the guy trying to blow up the Upside Down before anyone's got a chance.
Beckloff is like, you should have kicked him into the
I'm
subway.
like, look, they already got molested by Vecna. It's too late for them. You want him to end up like Will? Will's turning out to be a faggot in every sense of the word.
What Chris does when he sees a Jewish boy kicked in the subway, he picks the kid up and throws him onto the tracks. Not because he's Jewish, but because he's a child.
And this is exactly why
Chris, you killed that Jew, and I'm like, he was Jewish?
this is exactly. Oh,
Go ahead, Joey.
Oh, I was about to say this is exactly why Israel should give me my $7,000 because I can get people to change their mind right away.
How?
Get a bunch of Palestinians to block the freeway.
That's true. That is the fastest way to piss people off against you.
I think Abby Shapiro needs to start an OnlyFans to get Israel.
I still don't know what her face looks like. I don't know what that says about me, but I'm going to stick with it.
Chat says the Upside Down was promised to us 3,000 years ago. That's what we do. We just send Israel into the evil dimension to fucking make it worse. Yeah, there's some zombie movie I saw. I've been meaning to watch it. I recently saw some like clips of it on Reels called Cooties. And the idea is like it only turns you if you haven't gone through puberty yet. So all the zombies are kids. And I remember thinking like most people would have a hard time dealing with that. But me, I'd be like, this is awesome.
Well, we've already established
finally an excuse.
We've already established that you pick the kid up and throw him in front of the subway. So
It's like good job killing all those zombies. I'm like, they were zombies? I just heard him say 6'7" and I fucking opened fire.
okay, so question for you, and you must pick only one. You can Thanos snap all the Amish or all the children away.
Oh, definitely the Amish.
Didn't even hesitate.
That's not even a question, man. There's very few groups that outrank the Amish in that. Like, they might be at the top, now I think about it. Like, if I had to Thanos snap half the population away, which honestly I think is lowballing it, I'm starting with the Amish. Then we're going to move on to, like, India and China and shit, but, like, them first. All of them. Somebody posted a video of they went to the Cartoon Network Hotel here in Lancaster before it closed.
Mm-hmm.
And they had no idea anything about Lancaster, so they literally thought it was just Amish shit. And they happened to drive by this really nice game store, Just Press Play, which is also kind of nationally famous at this point. And they were like, this is amazing. Why is this? And I'm like, this guy literally just thinks Lancaster is just this game store and Amish farms.
Yeah, I kind of got the thing from the video that he didn't really like go around much.
Yeah, he never went to like the city of Lancaster or anything. So it's like there's a bunch of comic book stores. There's a bunch of other retro game stores. There's a ton of shit around here.
So is it like Amish suburbs next to the city or something?
No, the Amish are out in the kind of outskirts rural area of things. And you know, a lot of like media portrays the Amish as like secluded off in their own village. And I wish that was true. But no, they're kind of scattered around. But yeah, it's funny. I've driven by that Cartoon Network Hotel a bunch of times and never if anything, I probably should have gone in and checked out the gift shop or something because that looked like it was probably pretty good in its heyday.
When he says it was the only Cartoon Network hotel, that really surprised me.
I was a little surprised how much it leaned directly into all the current shit. Like, I could understand that a little bit, but, you know, you got parents there that grew up with stuff. Cartoon Network's like 30 years old at this point. You know what I mean?
Turn me to dust, why don't you?
You'd think there'd be like some Dexter's Lab and Johnny Bravo and other shit there.
Yeah,
You know?
cow and
Some
chicken.
of them. Well, I can see why they wouldn't do Johnny Bravo anymore because the subject matter. But you would think at least Dexter. Dexter was one of the first shows, wasn't he?
I think so. Yeah.
I mean, he wasn't the first, but he's like one of the first.
Dexter used to get run on like either TNT or TBS a little bit too, because I didn't have Cartoon Network when I lived down in Maryland, and I didn't move up to PA till '98. And I do remember catching a little bit of Dexter's Lab, I think on like TNT or TBS, and they were the same parent company, so it's not surprising. But like,
Some Dexter's mom, says chat. Well, yeah,
Dexter's mom can get it. I mean,
Pixar mom bod before Pixar.
yeah.
chat says it's a form of promoting the new programs to a captive audience. I get that, and I get that it's more for kids because it's right by Dutch Wonderland and shit. But it just feels like you would have leaned a bit more into the history of stuff, especially with a gift shop there. Like you'd be able to sell stuff to the parents and all. You know what I mean?
You would have thought they would have done a little bit more with the interior design.
Yeah, it all seemed really half-ass.
I mean, the main lobby was the most done up, and I think they could have been a lot more wacky and like cartoon, like the buffers they used to have on Cartoon Network. They could have stylized it after those.
I feel like more like statues of characters. Like there's the big thing of like Finn and Jake out in the front, like outside.
That was cool.
It feels like there should be way more of that all over the place in there.
Yeah, they could have had like fake awards to the characters and stuff, and all sorts of different things.
I've seen like images from Nickelodeon's old hotel, and it was damn near a theme park in and of itself almost. And I've seen images of like the Nickelodeon experience at the Mall of America, and it looks way more fun and interesting. You know what I mean? And also, again, kind of leaning on the history of things a bit more, where it's like, here's, and it, not focused primarily on it, but like, here's stuff we did in the 90s and the 2000s and stuff. Like,
I'm sure part of that is like corporations don't like to promote their old stuff anymore, which I don't quite get because all the money's already spent. You can only make.
I don't get that either because when we were kids, they had no problem doing that.
Yeah, well, they didn't have as big a catalog, but again, like the money's already been spent. You just make money now.
Having a bigger catalog, you should almost want to lean on it more. I mean, you can almost rest on it more. You know what I mean?
I also think they'd be surprised how many kids do watch old stuff.
Oh, hell yeah.
I mean, my kid watches Underdog, and that's from the 60s.
Underdog?
My one friend's kid recently went through a shtick where he was just obsessed with Thundercats, like the old 80s Thundercats.
Why wasn't in Pins?
And his dad wasn't even a fan of it. His dad didn't even really care that much about it, but the kid just found it on streaming. It's like, this is awesome.
To answer your question, chat, nobody really knows.
There kind of is a reason. So right by it is a theme park called Dutch Wonderland, which is a pretty small little theme park. It's no Hershey Park or anything, but it is a little theme park with roller coasters and all. It's geared towards smaller children more, but it is a reasonably big attraction. People come from quite a ways to go to it. So it makes sense for a kid-themed hotel to be right next to it. How and why they got the Cartoon Network license in particular when no one else had it, no one seems to quite know. But it's not like it's just nowhere near anything. You know what I mean?
Well, I kept hearing in the video that there's only Amish people there.
I sent that video to a buddy of mine, and I've only watched a little bit of this guy's channel when he's like reviewing animated movies. But my buddy just immediately goes, "Is this guy autistic?" And he didn't even realize it wasn't even because he had a cartoon channel. It was like he just insists on saying the full name of everything. Like he keeps calling it the Steven Universe Dream Suite over and over again. And he goes, and I really thought the guy was gay till he mentioned his girlfriend. And I'm like, well, that's just because everybody born after 1995 seems gay.
I mean, the real young people just look the same to me.
Back in the 80s, you had to get molested by an interdimensional monster.
One of my coworkers is non-binary, and I didn't know because I just assumed everybody his age looked androgynous, but he's doing it on purpose.
Yeah, you used to just be a tomboy or a bit of a fucking Nancy. We didn't
Just
have to
be
come
gay.
up with. Yeah, we didn't have to come up with a million names for it. There's
My
1,000
favorite.
when people are like, "There's 1,000 genders," I'm like, "No, there's 1,000 personality types." That's
No,
what
no,
you're
no.
mistaken here.
My new favorite sexuality is gray sexual. You know what that is?
What's that?
Being attracted to a single person.
I thought that was being in love.
Well, you thought just being normal and only having like rowdy feelings for a person you actually have feelings for would be normal, right? Well, no, it's gray sexual.
What?
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
I heard
You know,
I heard demisexual before, which I think meant that.
I'm a young millennial and I'm too old for this.
Back in my day, we just got our dicks sucked.
Back in my day, you were just gay or a hobo, and there was nothing else.
Back in my day, the gays were tougher. It was
They
hold
were.
on to a tree for dear. That's kind of gay. People got hurt back then.
No, really, like in like the 80s and like early 90s, if you were gay, you got beat up. Like, I don't believe any of them were doing it for attention.
Of course, I don't know. I see people in their like late 30s and 40s doing that shit. So I don't know.
Well, it gets you social points.
None of this foo demisexual shit. Back then, if you were gay, you went to the bathhouse and got fisted. Back then, you died of some unknown disease when you were 40, like you're supposed to.
Back in the day, you didn't tell no one. Now you gotta tell everyone, including people you just meet on the street.
Yeah, when
You're supposed to be saving the world from the upside down.
When you're a firefighter saving people from the burning building, you have to stop and tell the random people gawking, "Look, I really like sucking cock."
You have to tell them while in the fire.
Before you pull them out.
Look, I know the apocalypse is about to happen, everybody, but I just wanted to know, everybody here to know, that I really wanted my best friend here to put his penis in my butt. I need my mom to know this. I need complete strangers to know this. I need us to all chew up valuable time as the world inches towards oblivion.
Stop drug suck.
That's how Will's gonna defeat Vecna. He's gonna rape him.
I just feel that like some lefty writer got in there because in their mind that is more important than saving the world.
Will's gonna be like, hold him down, guys.
Well, I mean, if you can't tell people you suck dicks, is the world even worth saving?
I mean, how are you going to suck dick if you can't save the world?
That's the conundrum.
It's a chicken or the egg.
There's an old Louis C.K. bit where he talks about, would you go back in time and kill Hitler? And he says, I would just go back in time and rape him. I think that would be enough to stop him. They'd be like, do you want to invade Poland? He's like, no, I don't want to. That's what Will's going to do to Vecna. He's going to be like, you still want to merge dimensions? He's like, I don't want to. He's just in the shower. The dirt won't come off.
Oh.
It really did ruin the season. It's such a shame because it's like all anyone is talking about now. Oh. I love Dirk. I need to spend 10 minutes telling everyone. Maybe the real Stranger Things was the dicks we sucked along the way. So Will has sucked for a couple of seasons too, and it's just been becoming more and more the Will show. Like everything's got to fucking end up being about him.
Maybe one of the writers is using Will as their self-insert.
Now Will has powers too, through the power of sucking dick. He sucked Vecna's dick, and now he has some of Vecna's power. There's another scene too where like the redhead girl Max is trying to lead the one little girl out of like Vecna's mind, like back into their bodies, and the opening appears for Max, and it's like you really got to hurry, but she spends like 10 minutes having this fucking heartfelt conversation with the girl. Like, you'll find your way out too, and it really just it drags on so much where it's like I kept thinking like, is she just gonna miss the exit? Because she's sitting there trying to have a stupid heartfelt moment for way too long, and it's like, well, now we're both fucked. There's a little bit too much like stopping to talk about fucking feelings when your life is on the line going on in this fucking show. Like it's not just Will talking about how he feels about cock and balls. It's a whole lot of this where it's like enough. Like,
what would you tell your dad before the building burns down around you?
I would probably.
What are you going to stop? Instead of leaving the building with him, are you going to tell him for 10 minutes?
Like, let's get out of here. Oh, no. Let's actually sit down and talk about our feelings. I still can't believe Hopper isn't like, look, we got to blow up the Upside Down. That's the number one priority. Fuck these kids.
Yeah, I could see him being like, I really like the kids. I love them even.
I want to save the kids if we can.
We'll save them if we can. It's on the list to do.
That's an if. That's in the if there's time.
I don't want to just leave the kids there, but the world kind of needs us.
Yeah, that's the secondary objective of this mission. I hope he's just like he just doesn't say it to the group because he doesn't want them to whine about it. But he's just like he puts the bomb in the center of the Upside Down, and he puts the timer on it. He's like, if we can get the kids out, if not, I guess we just all go down with this. But whatever, one way or another, this fucker's not winning.
This is the guy who broke his own foot to escape Siberian prison, so. Or had somebody break it for him. He didn't break it, but you know.
Yeah, Hopper's a badass, and these last couple episodes, they've sort of been yelling at him for being a badass, and it's like, fuck off.
The guy had the will to escape Russian prison. Cut him some slack.
But the Upside Down is just Hawkins. It's not.
Even though he got back to Hawkins via the Upside Down from Russia.
It was Upside Down in Russia.
Wait, does this mean this is a 40K prequel?
Call Undertow in there.
For the record, all the 40K lore I know against my will.
That's about the same with me.
Yeah, I started reading some of the books recently.
He's lost. It's too late. We can't save Grubby.
No, I finished one of the Caiaphas Cain books, so
we have to put him in quarantine.
It's too late. They got him.
We can't save him.
We have to blow up the dimensional bridge near him.
Soon his house will be filled with plastic.
Oh God, I don't have the money for that.
You can always just get the not 40K.
See, the problem is it starts with you just getting one. You can afford just one.
Yeah, you can afford a single army.
Yeah, just one little guy so you can play along. And then, he's going to want a friend, so you're going to want to get another one. And then
all of a sudden, you got a house full of Skaven.
You got to get the alternate loadouts. And then what if you want to, you want a champion?
There was a comic store in Granite Run Mall, which is gone now because our country's falling apart. But back in the 2000s, they used to do Warhammer tournaments, and they had this huge display in the fucking window of these massive castles and shit and all that they had made for Warhammer and this huge terrain and shit. It was I never even liked Warhammer, and it was always impressive to look at.
Yeah, some of the guys who build and kit bash and stuff, they do really impressive things. And then there's the guy who just dunks his models in paint.
I knew a buddy back in 02. It was one of the first guys I knew that was into Warhammer, and he had like some rat monster mage. And I don't even think it was 40K. I think it was the original one that was like medieval.
Skaven.
But like he had this rat monster mage, and he had like a spell book open, and he had carefully like painted this little piece of cheese on the one page and like really delicately written like "Behold the power of cheese" on the other page. But I can't imagine how it was literally one of the things where he was like painting with, the little like magnifying glasses you stick in your one eye.
Yeah, jeweler loop.
Yeah, like jewelers use. Like he literally had one of those when he was painting this fucking thing.
Yeah, they're just called loops. I have some. Not for model painting, no, for repairing things, but same things.
Oh man. Yeah, I didn't like Stranger Things so far. It's not. I don't know. It's not bad. It's just man. One fucking scene sucks the wind out of the whole thing.
The only thing you can think about is telling random people on the street how much you love to suck cock.
It's so bad. It's not even bad because it's woke. It's
just bad in general.
Bad.
It transcends
being woke. It's bad.
It's so bad it transcends the fact that it is woke.
So is it even worth catching up?
Oh man, I don't know. You know what? Ask me that after the last episode, because I'm still gonna watch the last episode. So I still hopeful that it wraps together. It's just there was that, plus there was little bits of where like I'm like the lore isn't adding up, and it was just enough to notice and annoy you. You know what I mean? And
is this one of those cases where like all the original writers have already gone on to other projects?
Might be, because here's the thing. I haven't even really watched the last season since they first came out. You know what I mean? So it's not like I just rewatched it and it's all fresh in my head. It's still stuff where it's like, no, that's not at all like what I saw 3 or 4 years ago.
So sometimes what'll happen is the original writers will move on to other projects because they get bored, and then new writers will come in, and that's why a show will have like a noticeable drop in quality.
So the Duffer Brothers created this show, and supposedly they are the main, if not the only, writers of the show, from what I understand.
They're not letting
now it being a big, at this point, multi-million-dollar fucking property owned by Netflix. I'm sure there are other writers that touch shit up and have their fucking hands in the pot. But from what I understand, at least the main plot is all Duffer Brothers.
Something weird happens where like it's not just Netflix, but Netflix is famous for this. Where if they have a show and it gets really popular, for some fucking reason, something has to take place in California. And Stranger Things did that for one season.
Yeah, they did wander out there
because the fellow Hoosiers I know, the first thing that comes into their head is, I want to move across literally the entire fucking country to California.
Well, if your town's full of monsters, maybe.
I mean, if the town was full of well, no, I take that back. The town's already full of monsters. It's just living here.
Yeah, this time it's not going to be a tentacle rape in your mouth, Will.
But it makes no sense they would go literally across the entire country.
I mean, in all fairness, they're in Indiana, so literally everything is just what was the joke Family Guy made about South Dakota? It's just a real long drive from wherever you are. In all fairness, I couldn't find Indiana on a map if all the states weren't labeled. I'll need like 4 or 5 shots.
We're like the Twilight Zone of states. You can't actually come and stay here. You can only go through here. If you try to stay in a hotel, you wake up in a different state.
You just wake up at the border for as soon as the sun comes up.
You fall asleep in the hotel, and then you wake up. And if you're lucky, you're in like Kentucky or Illinois. But if you're unlucky, you're just in Mexico or in the other side of the planet.
I was going to say, that's the first time anyone said, if you're lucky, you're in Kentucky. I've been to Kentucky before. And let me just say, when you're glad to be back in the relative civilization of West Virginia, I felt like I was in the Upside Down. You know, the show also kind of gave up on the idea that the Upside Down wasn't all that safe to breathe.
I kind of thought it was established. It kind of wasn't.
They're sort of like a lot of people were going in with protection before, and now no one is. And there's like, they even make a line there in one of these episodes. They're like, "Is it safe to breathe here?" And the girl goes like, "Yeah, we don't really know."
I thought like it was, you could breathe it, but it was fucking you up, and the longer you stay there, the worse you were.
Yeah, that's kind of the impression I got. But now there's like a whole fucking military base in there.
Oh, they just built a whole fucking
around.
base. Why not?
Though, no fairness, it ain't like the military really gives a fuck about.
No, they don't.
You'd be like, yeah,
all
this is
those guys
giving you
are
all
like,
kinds of cancer, but
when they're all dying like 5 years later, they'll just keep denying it until the statute of limitations is up.
I'll just be like, what are you talking about?
They all have this mysterious illness, and we can't really pin it down. Were these guys exposed to anything weird?
They keep talking about a dimension full of monsters, but they're on Alex Jones' show years later, like,
and no one believes them.
Big monsters in this dimension. No one believes them. I honestly thought the way that the season ended last year, I honestly thought it was going to be like full post-apocalyptic this season. Like, it seemed like the Upside Down was fully rupturing into like the main world, and like everybody's just going to be dealing with monsters and shit. And then this season, it's like the military's there and they've just thrown fucking steel plates over it.
I wonder where Alex Jones is now.
Oh, I don't know. He seems a little bit compromised these days. Chat says, unfortunately, this happened to the best shows. Good example is Rick and Morty. Very good show until the producers blew the creative wad earlier. And since then, it has been an inconsistent mess. Yeah, I still think Rick and Morty's all right, but it definitely peaked with season 2.
Well, after season 2, they made a point to hire 50% of the writing staff was women.
Yeah, there's some episodes that I don't know.
Yeah, I stopped watching after season 3.
So if you wonder why it suddenly got less funny, it's because women are writing it now.
I'm like a season or 2 behind, so I'm not caught up. But Rick and Morty's one of those things where it's like, I think it's still good, but it's definitely peaked, you know? It's like you're at like season 10 or 11 Simpsons, where it's like, this is still good, but very clearly the best days are behind us.
I'm trying to catch up with Smiling Friends now.
Oh, Smiling Friends is great. That is the real story.
Oh, yeah.
These days.
It's very much coded for people who grew up on Newgrounds and shit like that. Just the trash of the internet distilled into a show of perfection.
I think it does a great job of capturing that classic Adult Swim chaos. Like it has. I mean, it's not that similar of a show, but it has that same feel almost as an Aqua Teen.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Perfect surrealness to it.
I was thinking either Aqua Teen or maybe Squidbillies.
I think it's a lot more polished than Squidbillies.
Yeah, Squidbillies was hit or miss to me.
It doesn't overly rely on cursing. They use it just enough. So
there's a few, I would say, solid gems in Adult Swim's history. I think Aqua Teen's one of them. I think Rick and Morty at its heyday was one of them. Smiling Friends is one of them. Hell, you know, I'd even put Robot Chicken there. I know it's a bunch of just references and shit, but Robot Chicken just never ceases to make me laugh. Just shows that I knew I could always turn to, and it was never hit or miss. You know what I mean? At least in its heyday.
I don't even know what's the current adult still in lineup even is now. Thinking about it.
I mean, I don't have cable, so I just watch Smiling Friends on Max, so I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, my parents still have cable, but like I don't. I think I actually pay more a month to not have it.
I have like all the streaming services, and it's still less than cable. I mean, I have basically all the major ones. I mean, I live with my elderly dad, and I kind of have to. Like the moment I cancel one of them, he's gonna want to watch something on it. Like, so I just keep them all. But even that ends up being way less than cable. And I mean, I have Netflix, I have Hulu, I have Disney Plus, I have Amazon Prime, I have HBO Max.
Oh, that reminds me, I have to
Fuck, I
catch
probably
up
have
on
ones
it.
I'm forgetting. Oh, I actually had to call Netflix customer service because Christmas Day I was like, "Where the fuck is Stranger Things supposed to come out?" Right, and then I heard somebody say, "Oh, it's supposed to be out at 8." So I check again at like 10 o'clock, and I'm like, "It's still not here." So I actually was like, "I'm pissed off now because it's like I'm paying money for this." So I actually called Netflix customer service, and again, this is 10 o'clock, so it's not even peak hours. I get right away to their credit, I get right away to somebody that, yeah, it was a fucking Indian accent, but okay, at least it wasn't a robot. And right away, I'm like, hey, I don't have Stranger Things. Isn't that supposed to drop today? And she's like, yeah, go ahead and try this. Just restart your Roku. And I did, and it was on there. And it's like, you know what? She even said like, oh, this is a known issue. You're probably going to want to do this. So to their credit, Netflix customer service, I got in touch with somebody right away, and they fixed it right away. So
Truly amazing.
in this day and age, I mean,
Yeah, I've more than one.
I can't praise you enough for that.
So like on Amazon, there basically isn't customer service now unless you call. It just sends you in an endless loop until you call. And as far as I can tell, you can't get a hold of anybody on eBay.
Oh yeah, that's a nightmare. Chat says, haha, you clowns looks amusing, but I haven't watched it yet. Yeah, I've seen little clips on like reels and shit. I might give it a shot. Chat says, same thing happened to South Park and went from being most balls to the wall hilarious to being super focused on making funny satire about Orange Man for 2 seasons. I gave up on South Park like 10 years ago with PC Principle. That's
Yeah,
really when I
same
could
here.
tell.
Yeah,
That's really when I could tell they were bending the knee.
So for me, it was more of a show you watched with friends, and it really wasn't funny on yourself by yourself. But like, I definitely stopped watching before PC Principle.
That was right, and I was kind of losing interest in it, but that was right around the time where it's like, I just can't anymore. I don't care.
The last thing I liked from South Park was the video game because I thought the video game was hilarious.
You know, it really is. It's not even that they're making fun of Trump, because like, go ahead and make fun of Trump. It's fine.
There's not used to make fun of them. It's just all the ways they do it is like bad.
Yeah, it's lame, but also like Joe Biden had dementia and he shit his pants in front of the Pope, and his son
everybody
smoked
ignored
crack
it
in the White House, and he probably molested his daughter, at least according to her diary. And for 4 years, you were all silent. To me, that's just cowardice. And it's like, when you bill yourself as being the badass rebel that pisses everybody off, and then you pull shit like that, I don't care. Even if there is an episode of South Park that's funny now, it's like, I've so lost respect for you, I can't even enjoy it.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
it was so surreal how we all had to just pretend, or we didn't really have to pretend, but how everybody was just pretending that Biden was all there.
Yeah, he clearly had dementia. He shit his pants in front of the Pope.
Yeah,
He raped his daughter. That's according to her diary. I didn't say that. The FBI said that.
They didn't directly say that, but
they said it was her diary, and her diary said
they rated James O'Keefe over it, basically confirming it was real. Instead of just being like, "Hey, can we like see this book and see if it's property or something?" No, they just raided his office.
Yeah, so his son smoked crack in the White House. Like, you had nothing to fucking make fun of there?
Remember, the FBI was supposed to be temporary. And now they just run around raiding people. And not publishing things.
Biggest problem the conservatives have, and I've said this for years, is that they really lack the temperament to do the kind of things that need done. They have too much deference towards authority, towards hierarchy, towards the rules, towards law and order. They don't want to ever get rid of these things. They don't like. You can't drain the swamp without decimating the military. Like, I'm sorry to
can't
tell
drain
you,
the swamp without putting a bunch of like federal agents in prison either.
our military budget should be 10% of what it is, and that's a very high estimate.
Or at least put
And
a freeze on it till you can actually.
Nobody in the right will admit that. Remember back when Obama was in office? This was one of the few times I was kind of defending Obama back then. But it was like his first year, they all accused Obama of cutting the military. And I remember thinking, first of all, I wish he was. Second of all, he didn't cut the military. He actually increased their spending from the previous year. He just didn't increase it at the same rate it had been increasing.
I don't think we've had a cut in military budget for like over 100 years.
It's gotta you talk about draining the swamp. It's like the Pentagon, the military industrial complex is the deepest, darkest, murkiest part of the swamp.
Oh, hold on. Chat. The video game was Stick of Truth. Sorry.
Oh yeah, the South Park video game.
It has a sequel. I haven't played the sequel, but the first one was
I have. It's okay.
yeah, okay.
I played the N64 game where you throw snowballs at people.
I would wait until it's on sale where you can get it for like $5.
Well, there you go, chat. It has the grubby endorsement of pick it up for $5.
Well, that's every game for me, so yeah.
Yeah. Just pick up every game on Steam when it hits $5. You can do that, right, chat?
And you should also send $5 to my Streamlabs right now.
And $50 to Israel.
Yes, and send $50 to Israel.
You send $500 to Israel.
And send me $7,000.
Why $7,000?
Because that's what they were promising influencers.
They promised it to him 3,000 years ago.
Okay. Nope.
No, there was this whole conspiracy on Twitter that Israel was sending influencers $7,000 to post pro-Israel stuff.
They can afford more than that. Bump it up to 10.
Oh yeah, I want my $7,000.
I will post pictures of Abby Shapiro with her tits out if I get $7,000.
I will say though, I am glad that I don't have to get like 500. So I have ad block on via my VPN, but like they still fucking get through somehow. But I am glad I don't have to like listen to somebody about their horrific crack and porn addiction. Like I don't get why it is that when you watch a Christian video on YouTube, it just automatically assumes you just got done doing a line of crack off of a picture of a hooker's tits.
Have you been jerking off to porn for 4 hours a day? And it's like, no,
not really. Who has that much time?
Good God, your dick's got to look like you got pushed out of a moving truck by the end of this.
No, I just don't know why that like the two demographics it puts together on YouTube is Christians and drug addicts / porn addicted addicts. I just don't know why that is. Maybe the porn thing is like the social conservative thinks just looking at porn once like a month is an addiction. I don't know. Right. Now back to killing federal.
I remember being in a church one time and they called this guy out on supposedly having a porn addiction that he was unrepentant of. And I just remember thinking, like, with evangelicals, that could mean anything. Like,
I would have just asked for the guy's browser history.
Like, maybe he just goes to R-rated movies sometimes, or maybe he has, like, a box of old Playboys that his grandpa gave him he doesn't want to throw out. You know what I mean?
If that happened to me, I would have just asked for the guy who was calling me out his browser history. Like,
well, it turned out that the pastor who was calling him out was fucking the secretary.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, at least she's a woman.
It's the best we can hope for.
At least he's not a nigger lover like Max. It's just Hopper at the back of the church.
You know, I since we're talking about conservatives doing shit like that, I have this working theory that the reason they blame libertarians for everything is because like they resent how free libertarians are. Like if one's going to be a cringe pothead, they're just going to like light up and smoke weed. They don't need permission. Or if they're going to like,
no, you're right on this.
Or if they want to own like an unregistered machine gun, they just do that in the backwoods somewhere. And like the conservative is seething because they're like, I needed to ask permission to leave my house during lockdown. You can't do that.
There is a big thing with conservatives, and you see this especially with social conservatives, where like they just really, really resent people that haven't gone down their path because they're free. We played one time on here years ago that thing from PragerU where they're talking about why you should get married, and it's just making marriage and family look like the most miserable thing in the world.
You should get married because if you're married, you won't be able to hang out with your friends.
Yeah, it's just like, I'm miserable. You should be
that's
too.
That's a positive. That's like a regrettable side effect that you have less time for your friends.
I mean, there's something cringy to a lot of cat ladies that are posting like, I'm so happy without children.
But that's women.
But there's also something really cringy with the people that have a bunch of kids and they're like, you're selfish if you don't have kids. You're a loser. You just have all this free time and money, and you could tell like you're miserable, aren't you?
Well, I don't know about free time and money. That doesn't really happen anymore.
Well, in theory,
maybe
you have more of it. Let me put it that way.
Maybe stick with me here, social conservatives. Maybe the reason the guy has no kids is because he has no free time or money. Maybe he barely gets by, and that's why he doesn't have any.
Well, yeah, just being mad at somebody that didn't choose your path in life just kind of shows that you're like not happy with your path in life. Well, I played by the rules, and it's like, whose rules? The ones I thought I was supposed to play by. Yeah, exactly.
The social contract. This mysterious contract that you're entered into automatically.
Well, you think you can just smoke weed?
Technically, yeah.
I mean, yeah, I guess.
People
I don't even smoke weed, by the way, but yeah, I guess I could.
I don't. Okay, I guess I do get the appeal of smoking weed, but I just don't smoke weed. So
yeah, I don't have any interest in it. But it's like,
to be fair, the thing that keeps me away from weed is all the people who smoke weed.
That's fair.
I don't want to be doomed to libertarian podcasts. Look, I'm a libertarian. I don't want to be doomed to the libertarian podcast forever.
Yeah, people used to think I did, but I don't.
I've often said weed is like skateboards. I don't care if you're into it, but it's no substitute for a personality.
Plus, it smells bad.
Yes, skateboarders do smell bad.
That's actually true. Yeah.
I bet you the set of Tim Pool smells like complete ass.
I guarantee you he smokes weed and does skateboarding.
Probably doesn't shower as often as he should. I definitely get that impression. Like the inside of his beanie just smells like a foot. Again, he hadn't washed what's left of his hair in days.
He finally took it off on air, so now everybody knows he's bald. I don't know why he hid it for so long.
He'll be like at functions with a suit and a beanie.
Yeah, because he's bald. He should like just shave it and just.
It's like in the old Ninja Turtle cartoon where they never drew Casey Jones without the mask.
Oh right, they didn't.
He has no face. He still got the mask on. Like that's Tim Pool. He just the animators don't know how to draw him without the beanie.
You heard how somebody was shooting at him again?
Yeah, but you know what? Like
but nobody really cares because he's Tim Pool.
He lives in rural West Virginia. I honestly think he probably just heard echoes from people hunting.
That or, well, even if somebody was shooting at him, he pisses everyone off anyway.
Yeah, I don't care if anything bad.
His own audience hate watches him.
Nobody's rallying around him like Kirk. Like so nobody.
To quote him word for word, I don't have beliefs.
Yeah, I know, because you don't have a soul. You're not a person. Okay, you're the default setting for a creative character in a Tony Hawk game.
He's a fence post that gained sentience and realized he could make twice as much money.
He just is the beanie, and it creates this hologram of a person under it.
It turns out whoever you put the beanie on, it eats their hair because it needs to get through there to get to their head.
It just turns them into Tim Pool.
It just turns them into Tim Pool, yeah.
You can actually put the beanie on a snowman, and it just becomes an ice version of Tim Pool. The entity known as Tim Pool exists in the beanie.
It also could have just been like you could be right too. It could literally have just been like a bullet from somebody
It
deer hunting.
probably was. It probably just like, for fuck's sake, I live in a rural area. You hear echoes of gunshots all the fucking time. It's kind of like the ghetto that way.
Here, as soon as the weather gets nice, everybody goes out and starts target practicing, and it's just the neighborhood sounds like there's a firefight going on.
Well, I think I'm gonna wrap this up because we talked enough about the Stranger
Wait,
Twinks.
wait! Before you go, are you going to tell us how you want to suck dick?
Yeah, for 10 minutes,
For
guys.
10 minutes.
I'm gonna ramble on for 10 minutes and then finally be like, I like mommy doms. And then Hopper's gonna be like, well, at least he's not a nigger. Like Grubby over here. It's like, who keeps letting Hopper in here? All right. Well, that's about it for tonight. Folks, if you want to support the content, and I don't know why you would because it's garbage, but if you do, you go to streamlabs.com/thebeckoff, paypal.me/thebeckoff, and there's a link to the Amazon wishlist down below. So, everybody, I hope you have a good rest of your Kwanzaa and a good New Year's if I don't stream before then. And that's about it for tonight. Thanks for listening. Beckloff out.
Yep. Later.